Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to give you guys a little update about my vegetable garden because it is doing amazing. Okay, if this is not your thing, you can just scroll across and watch something else. But I believe everybody that like planting flowers in the flower garden should have some sort of vegetable in the garden, whether it's just peppers, tomatoes, a little bit of lettuce, something. It serves purpose. Only because I would like to think that it saves you money along the way of going out there to the grocery stores to get these little things. For me, I plant a lot of things and I plant a little bit, but I get a lot from it. Um, I get a lot from it when I harvest. And for right now, it's just me and my husband. So it really serves purpose for us. Now, again, if vegetable gardening is not your thing, then okay, it's all good. Thank you for watching my video. I appreciate you. All right, so let's move on to this vegetable garden. And I am going to start with, actually, I'm going to start with my pots. Okay, so I have 6 pots that I use to plant my vegetables. Well, some of my vegetables, because I run out of raised bed space. Now, again, I do plant a little bit of a lot of stuff. So that's how I run out of space. But every year I find pots to put things in. However, this year, some of the things that I started from seed, I got too many of them. I gave away some, and some I decided I'm going to plant 2 and 3 instead of just planting 1. And I kind of put them in pots, but I realized that I'm going to have to take some of this out. Like, for instance, I have cucumbers in these 2 pots, and that's too many cucumbers for that 1 pot. So I'm gonna have to take some of them out and put them elsewhere. But I'm coming up with spaces because some of the cole crop that I've used out that are turning seeds, I'm gonna kind of shift that and put some of this stuff in the raised beds, and I'm gonna show you that. Now in this bed here, this pot here, I have let me see, I might be pointing wrong. Let's see, let's go get close, because this one might be zucchini. Yep, actually no, that's cucumber, so I was right. These 2 pots is cucumber, so I have to take some of these out because that's too much for those 2 pots. Like 1 in there would be enough, and I'm gonna put something for it to climb on. In this pot I have 3 zucchini. Now clearly 3 zucchini, I don't know what the hell I was thinking. 3 zucchini is too much for this 1 pot. Only 1 should be in here. So I'm going to remove 2 of them and put them in a different space. This pot here, I have tomatoes. Now I have tomatoes in 2 different pots. However, if you know a lot about tomatoes, when I was planting the seeds or sowing the seeds, they talk about indeterminate tomato, determined tomatoes, and semi-determined tomatoes. Now these are the most popular that I normally plant, which is indeterminate tomatoes, because it kind of runs. So I have to, that's the reason why I have this wire looking thing to help it. I don't know what you call this. Is a arbor, a tomato cage, or I think it's tomato cage you call them. But I have one of that to hold these tomatoes. However, 3 tomatoes in there is also too much. So I know that I'm gonna have to take 1 or 2 tomatoes out of there. Now, over here, I also have tomatoes in this pot as well, and I put 3 of them. The thing is, I put together indeterminate tomatoes and determined tomatoes. The difference between the two is one is a climber and one stays small as a small size. But although one stays a small size, which is the determined tomato, I'm going to have to remove one or two, because I believe 2 is a climber and 1 is going to stay a small size. I do have semi-determined tomatoes as well, and I know I'm going to have to shift these things around. I just need to find space. You know, space is really important when you're planting summer vegetables, because most of the summer vegetables we plant, you know, is either stuff that runs like cucumbers, squash, stuff like that, pumpkin. Most of them runs, you know, unless you're doing you know, like pak choy and chard and collard and stuff like that. All these different things run, so it needs space to kind of open out. Anyway, I am gonna remove some of them from the pots, and just to give it some space. In this pot here, I do have some peppers in this pot, and I believe it's hot pepper. It's jalapeno peppers and hot peppers. Now, again, I didn't have space, so I put the 2 together. So you're basically going to get 2 plants coming up in here. Well, 3 plants, because it's 2 hot pepper and 1 jalapeno, which again is too small of a space for 3 peppers. But I was trying to get them all out so everything would be planted up, you know, but sometimes, you know, you got to take a step back to realize that some of the craziness you do is not going to work for these vegetables. And this was straight up craziness that I did. So I'm going to correct it. I'm going to make some changes. Now let's move on to our herbs box. Now this is the herb box that I planted, I think it's early March. Yeah. Which was, sometimes we consider times way too early to put some of the warm crop in the ground. Since this was a raised box, I decided to put my herbs in this box, and I planted early. Yes, some would consider it way too early to do a herbs box, but look at these vegetables, or look at these herbs, not the vegetables. Look at these herbs. The thyme, I cut on this all the time to cook because it's doing amazing. I got lavender here, and that is doing great. And look how the mint is controlled. If you go back and look at the video how I planted this mint, it's just in one container, and the container is in there, and it's totally controlled. It's just in this corner. I have the green onions. This needed a little bit more space, but you know, I cut on it all the time to cook, so it's okay. I feel like everything in here is doing amazing. You know, everything is looking great. Now the strawberries, oh my goodness. Like every day I come out here, I see 2 or 3 strawberries and I just eat. And the reason I do that is because I try to eat it before the birds eat it. So my husband haven't even tasted one of these strawberries because I keep coming out here and pulling them off and eating them, you know, because the birds kind of figure out where they're at. So yeah, since the birds figure out where they're at, I got to eat them first, or else I wouldn't get any of them. But look at this box. Isn't this doing amazing? It's lush. It's green. See that? Yeah, this looks good. And so sometimes, you know, when we start things early, we second guess it. I didn't second guess it one little bit. I never had to cover it up. Some nights that you get that, under 40 or so, I never had to cover it up or anything because I figured, they can withhold or sustain that little bit of chills at night until, it warms up, and everything is doing great. So planting it early, I wouldn't change a thing because everything is doing amazing. Now this is my first raised bed over here. This is a 4x8 raised bed. I do have two of them, which is this one and this one. They're both 4x8, but let me go around so you can see this better. Okay, so in this bed, I have a lot of rooted crops. So I have potatoes over here, and look at that. Those potatoes are doing great. I have onions over here, and that is living its best life as well. I do have carrots right over there, and the carrots is coming up really good as well. I also have pak choy at the end. I needed to thin that out a little bit because it is way too thick. Let me come over here. This is pak choy. See that? It is way too thick, so I need to thin it out a little bit. But other than that, everything here is doing great. Look at that. Now this bed over here, now this is the one that I'm gonna work a little bit. So if you notice, it's kind of spacious, and that's because I had lettuce on this side. This is romaine lettuce. I've been pulling this out slowly. As we harvest lettuce, I've been pulling this out so that we can eat and clear the spot so that I could put something else. So some of those zucchini plants or so I can put here. I also have arugula over there. I keep pulling the arugula, and that is going to seed now. Like some of them that was overgrown is now going to seed. So that I can pull out, get a couple of leaves that I can get with the rest of this lettuce. Remove this little section here, put some compost, a little bit of biotone or hollytone to work the soil a little bit more, and I'm gonna plant some more stuff in here. So this space is gonna be good for me. Now I do have peas in these two little sections here. I have peas over here and peas over there, and I have green onions here. This has been doing amazing as well. I have 3 peppers in here that is getting ready to, it's already flowering, so I know it's getting ready to push something out to give me a little bit of vegetables. This is, I have a cilantro right here. See, I have a cilantro here, and this is doing great. I think I got either basil or thyme or something at the very end. That's still gonna be there, but some of these stuff I can literally work this bed and add a few more things in here to help utilize space, to give the space that I need. Because once it gets warm, the lettuce and stuff is gonna have a hard time. So I can start pulling some of this out, use it, and I get the space to put other things. Now, moving over here, of course, these plants are doing so good. Everything is just growing, and I love it. I think with the amount of rain we were getting, just helped everything, like literally everything. Okay, so this big patch right here is romaine lettuce once again, and this has been doing good. Now if I go around, you're gonna see that I was cutting lettuce from this area as well. Right now my husband said he's tired of lettuce. you know, romaine lettuce. We've been cutting romaine lettuce and a lot of salads and stuff like that. So I am gonna give some to like my mom or neighbors. I'm gonna get rid of some of that lettuce. I'm not gonna keep all for myself, of course, because I really don't want to put lettuce. I can put lettuce in bags and put it in my refrigerator, but if I'm not actually eating it, I don't want it to go to waste. Now I have here cilantro. Oh my goodness, this cilantro is going crazy. I have so much cilantro. I need to like cut and just take it and give it to somebody. A lot of cilantro. I have here, like this whole structure here is cilantro. Oh, what you call this again? Ooh, I forgot the name of it. But if I remember the name, I'm gonna put it on the screen. This is spinach. Notice how big the spinach is getting, because yeah, it was way too much and I keep pulling some of that as well. I have the red leaf lettuce in here, and this I probably cut it twice, but you know, everything is in here, and some of the things are like really choked up because it's so much, you know. I have a kale, red leaf kale on the other side over here. Only one survived, so only one I was able to plant. I have one large tomato right here. This is growing. I need to stake it properly. It's not staked. The stake is in there, but it's not tied to that or anything. It's just bracing. So I really do need to stake that up before it falls, because I know it's going to get heavy. And it's a ready... the indeterminate tomato, it's the cherry tomato. It's gonna get big, it's gonna get huge, so I need to control that as well. But once it starts bearing, that's when I'm gonna try to control it a little bit more. I have, this is one cucumber, I believe is right here. Yes, one cucumber, that's doing good. I think I put this in like maybe 2 days ago or so, and it was really small, but because of the little rain, it kind of shoot up. And I'm gonna let this, it's gonna run on this arbor that is over the garden bed. I'm gonna let it run on that. Some of the spinach, I'm gonna pull out some of this spinach as well. I get the leaves, and maybe I'll be able to tuck something else back in here, because I have spinach elsewhere. So I am gonna pull out this spinach. Now this basil, it looks like it's not doing so great. I don't know. I have basil in maybe like 3 different areas. So I don't know if this one is not getting... I'm not sure if that one is good or not. But it looks like it's fighting its way through, and it's very strong, because I'm sitting here videoing, but the smell is so strong. Yeah. When I come around here, of course, that's the my red kale. All of this, guys, is cilantro. See that? And clearly, you see on this side here is where I was cutting the lettuce. So I'm gonna have to make space between here, but that's how I'm gonna make space, by taking out some of these stuff that I know that is gonna fold up during the heat. I'm gonna take out maybe some of the spinach and stuff like that, and put some of those other crop that I know that is gonna need the space. Okay. So now I'm gonna move over here. I'm so happy that in between this garden bed is the mulch, because I can walk comfortable on it. So over here we have chard on this side here, and then I have beets. I have chard beets in this little corner here. I have one thyme. You know, we have different kinds of thyme, but that one I'm not a big fan of, you know. Anyway, so this here Oh, I have a tomato in between here too. I think this is the semi-determinate tomato that stays really small. Again, I have no idea why I put it between here, because the beets leaf is gonna swallow this, you know. So I hope I can still find it when I need it. It has a lot of flowers on it, so I know it also have a few little tomatoes on it. And I have one more thyme right there. Let's see if I can see the... Let's see. Yep, see, there's tomatoes on it, and it's gonna stay this small. So that's just the difference between the determinate, semi-determinate, and indeterminate tomatoes. And I just read this information on the packet that I had to plant. So I'm sure if you're a gardener and you plant vegetables, I'm sure you'll know a lot of the difference. Now over here, do you guys remember how small these kales was when I planted them? Oh my God. Look at that. And this is the curly kale. So this is just looking amazing. This over here, I have red Russian kale. And look at that. So big. This is growing so beautiful. Look at that. Really strong. And you know, a lot of times I use these kale I saute kale. I use it for smoothies. I blend it in smoothies. I mean, I do salads. Normally, if I do salads with kale, I use the younger kale, like the smaller ones. When it's this big, I do saute kale, or I put it in smoothies and stuff like that, you know. Because it's still, you know, I still want to be able to use all this stuff, but look at that. This just looks great. It looks amazing. Like all these vegetables is just doing so good. Now over here I have cauliflower and broccoli. Now the cauliflower, nothing is formed yet. No broccoli is formed yet. But the stalk look really good. There's nothing eaten on it. Thank God. Yeah, let's see. This one is leaning. Anyway. Yeah, they're all leaning, I guess, because of the wind. And I do have a lot of... Yeah. All this is weeds that just, I guess... You know, when you cut the grass and any seeds that pop up jumps into the garden bed, and that's where you get these little weeds, or sometimes the birds come through here and, yeah, whatever they eat comes right into your garden bed, you know. Okay, so over here I have a lot of sweet peppers. I know I gotta pull these out, and I will. A lot of sweet peppers, but something is going on with the plant. I don't know what's going on with the plant, but I'm gonna take the peppers off of it. I have another cilantro here, and this one I haven't touched it. I haven't cut anything off of it. So it looks like it's going to seed. I'm probably gonna just cut some off later and use it, and hopefully it doesn't go to seed this fast. But the amount of it that I have, I mean, if that won't go to seed, it's not a big deal. I just want to be able to, you know, use everything that I'm planting. So, yeah, it's a little windy out here. But again, everything is doing amazing. Everything is doing great. We definitely got to take some of these things out the pots. But yeah, everything is doing awesome. Now I'm gonna go around to this little small corner here. Hopefully I'm not moving this camera too fast. So we're gonna go through here and go over here. So over in this corner, this is right next to my greenhouse, like on the back side of my green, not the back, but the west side of my greenhouse. And right now I probably need to turn on the irrigation so everything can get some water. But I have here, what I got here, I have some spinach over here that is doing good. I have tomatoes over there, and that is doing well too. What else did I plant here? I think I put a watermelon over here, but yes, I did. I put a watermelon plant right there. More than two watermelon plants. Hopefully that do well. Over in this corner, don't get like the sun really hot, so I'm hoping the stuff that I put on this side still survive properly. And then, you know, I need to pull these out because I don't want, this is the first time I have planted what's the name of it? Oh my goodness, radish. It is radish? No, it's not radish. It's oh my goodness, I can't remember the name, guys. I really forget the name. Anyway, it is doing well. I need to pull some of them out because some of them are way too big and some of them are small. But I heard if you roast it, it tastes really good. So I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm sure some of you guys know what this is. I'm not putting my finger on the name right now. Anyway, again, everything is doing well. When I take this out, I'm gonna add a little bit more compost or gardening soil to this area, and I'm gonna put some more stuff in here. Maybe put a cucumber or something, and see, you know, what else I can tuck into these spaces to help myself take some of this stuff out the pots. Now I do have two more pots that I want to show you. Let's go around this way. Okay, so I have two pots right over there. Let's get up to them. Okay. In this one, well, I believe this one is going to do great because the pots is so big. I have bitter melon in this pot. I'm going to put something for it to run on. This is one of my favorite vegetables, bitter melon. I know a lot of folks don't like it, but I love it. Absolutely love it. So, I'm going to put some for it to run on. And I do have a zucchini in there as well. Hopefully that grows well. But I'm not going to take that out. I'm going to leave it right in there because it looks like it's doing well. And when it gets too big, it's going to kind of like fall over the pot. That's okay with me. I have a lot of zucchini, so having one in this pot, no big deal. On this one, I have something we call bora. But the name of it is, I think, long bean, asparagus long bean. I think that's what they call it. And this I also have to put something for it to climb on. But all these plants are doing so good, so well. Let me see if it have enough water. Oh yeah, it needs a little bit of water, but the soil is not too dry. And that's okay. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get rain or not. I need to look that up. But so far so good. Yeah. Alright guys, so I just wanted to give you guys an update how amazing everything is looking. I am totally enjoying this. I love the look, you know. I always hope to have my vegetable garden looking full and lush, and this is impressing me. So I'm very happy and very excited. Yes. Anyway, I'm gonna close this video out here. I hope you guys get a chance to do something amazing today, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye for now.